Next news, breaking news.
Jeanine Pirro says that park employees saw Davey Herne forcefully and violently pulling the liner. Let that hit you for a second. We're talking about the Lincoln reflecting pool, a national symbol, and this former Olympian just pleaded not guilty after getting nailed in an indictment that carries up to 10 years in prison. Then his lawyer runs out there and cries that Trump is scapegoating an ordinary American. Ordinary? Look at the accusation, look at the place, look at the timing. While Trump is restoring the Capitol and the Vandal class is melting down. And wait until you hear the line about every American at risk, because that one blows this whole game wide open. Up to 10 years in prison. That sits on the table for Davey Herne. That number tells you this wasn't some cute little activist photo op. Jeanine Pirro flat out said there are mountains of evidence. And park employees witnessed Herne yanking the Lincoln reflecting pool liner with both hands. Both hands. I want you to picture that. Because the media machine wants you to blur it into touching. No. The lawyer said if Herne can be charged for touching the reflecting pool, every American's at risk. Read that again and try not to laugh. Every American's at risk from what exactly? Being stopped from tearing up national monuments? Give me a break. This matters because Trump is rebuilding what Joe Biden left rotting. Trump restored over 45 national monuments since 2025, including the World War II memorial fountain that sat neglected after the 2020 riot damage. So here's a split screen you can feel in your gut. Trump builds beauty, Davey Herne rips at it, and the activist bar screams oppression when the cleanup finally starts. Jeanine Pirro is exposing one kind of scam in Washington. If your family's on Medicare, there is another one hitting your wallet. Medicare got swallowed by the Medicare confusion industrial complex designed to keep seniors stuck. Mailers, robocalls, fine print. That mess keeps seniors stuck while big insurance wins. Chapter cuts straight through it. They're simple by design, one call, one advisor, free, under 20 minutes. They look at your doctors, look at your prescriptions, your whole situation, and tell you the truth with no propaganda, just facts. They work for you, not big insurance. If you're already on the right plan, they'll say it. If not, they will help you switch. Last year, people who found new plans with Chapter saved an average of $1,100. There's a number on your screen. Give them a call. 910-728-4109. Stop rewarding broken systems. Every American is at risk. That was the lawyer's line after Herne pleaded not guilty. And that's the tell. Not an argument, that's a tell. Because they always do this. Trash something sacred, get caught, then flip the script and paint the vandal as the victim. And watch how fast the word game kicks in. Pirro says, forcefully and violently pulling the liner. The defense downgrades it to touching. There it is, the whole left-wing machine in one move. And I'm going to get into the post. You're going to see why Trump's restoration push has these people completely cornered. Liberal former Olympian. That's really the shameful part here. Former Olympian Davey Herne panics after facing 10 years in prison. Herne pleaded not guilty, but the U.S. attorney confirms there are mountains of evidence.
Indicted for allegedly vandalizing the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, has pleaded not guilty to the felony charge. His lawyer blasting the Trump administration for pursuing the case.
This indictment reflects the administration's effort to scapegoat Davey and to shift blame for their own failures.
But U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro says park employees saw Herne, quote, forcefully and violently pulling the pool liner with both hands. If convicted, Herne faces up to 10 years behind bars. And
10 years. He may be pleading not guilty, but Pirro says the evidence is right there. Now watch his lawyer try to fall back. He was just touching it.
Today, Davey Herne pled not guilty. Because he is not guilty.
Damn right.
If Mr. Herne can be charged with a felony for touching the reflecting pool, every American is at risk. And every American should be alarmed about this prosecution. This indictment reflects the administration's effort to scapegoat Davey and to shift blame for their own failures.
Absolutely.
We will.
So while the defense cries scapegoat, Trump supporters are making the bigger point: protect America's monuments. This is what real respect for American history looks like from Trump Daily Post. Before Trump, the World War II Memorial Fountain was neglected and run down, as were over 45 national monuments. After Trump took action, it's now beautifully restored and flowing with pride again.
President Trump has restored over 45 national monuments in our nation's capital since taking office in 2025. Many of these monuments were damaged in the 2020 riots and never restored under Biden. President Trump is committed to restoring our national monuments instead of tearing them down. The above image is the World War II memorial before Trump, and the lower image is after Trump restoration.
So that's the contrast. Trump rebuilds, the left complains, and when the media tries to dunk on restored fountain over some temporary sediment, locals stepped in and blew that hit job apart.
I'm obsessed with the fountain. It feels like Paris. I think before this space was really dead and no one was using it, and now it's become like a really essential third space in this neighborhood.
Actually from Italy, and sometimes I look around and I'm like, am I in Florence at the Giardini Boboli or am I in DC? It's just very elegant and beautiful, and it feels very safe now. And
feels very safe now. So the cleanup story tells you everything about the press playbook. Smear first, correct never. Now shift to Trump's bigger vision for Washington, a massive Independence Arch that already has the usual critics whining. Trump's massive 259-foot Independence Arch just got the initial approval right in front of Arlington. For America's 250th, bigger than the Lincoln Memorial, critics are already crying about the view and the construction noise. Oh, boo-hoo.
This is the view today as you drive along Memorial Avenue toward Washington's Abraham Lincoln Memorial. And here's how Donald Trump wants it to look by the end of his term in 2028. With a 250-foot high triumphal arch, critics have nicknamed it the Arc de Trump. This is just one of several controversial building projects that are transforming Washington. Elsewhere, Trump's also planning a National Garden of American Heroes, featuring statues of historical figures, from 3rd President Thomas Jefferson to Jeopardy host Alex Trebek. The administration also plans a championship-level golf course devoted to Trump's favorite sport. Then, most controversially, there's Trump's White House ballroom, on which work is underway, said to be nearly 3 times the volume of the current White House residence, with a portico more than twice the size of the one on the White House itself, featuring fake windows and upsetting the building's symmetry and balance, preservation groups charge. They describe Trump's DC renovations as out of step with George Washington's original neoclassical plan for the city, a street grid intersected by diagonal boulevards, dotted with government buildings and grand vistas, meant to symbolize the carefully planned balance between the institutions of a new republic. As America celebrates its 250th anniversary, Trump's critics have attacked him for running roughshod over planning, raising the White House's East Wing to make room for the ballroom without consultation, and stacking advisory boards with loyalists. Then there's the price. Trump's makeover of Washington is on track to cost more than $1 billion in all, in public funds and private donations. Moving south from the White House, renovations to the reflecting pool have already gone awry. The pool was meant to be American flag blue, but it clogged with algae shortly after opening in June. It was green. The coating peeled off, and it didn't reflect. Trump has blamed the fiasco on vandals. In at least one case, though, the courts have thwarted Trump. In May, a judge ordered the administration to take Trump's name off the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. And now plaintiffs, including 3 Vietnam War veterans, are challenging the Triumphal Arch too, arguing it lacks congressional approval and will disrupt sightlines to Arlington Cemetery. A Trump aide countered that the arch will create a beautiful new view of Arlington, though presumably looking down from a viewing platform at the arch's top.
Okay, that's the Financial Times for you. Trump restored over 45 national monuments, and Davey Herne got caught ripping at one. That's the whole moral indictment right there. While Trump brought the World War II memorial fountain back from Biden-era neglect and pushed bold patriotic projects like the 259-foot Independence Arch near Arlington, Herne stood at the Lincoln reflecting pool and, according to witnesses cited by Jeanine Pirro, pulled the liner with both hands. I keep coming back to that image because it says everything. One side honors Lincoln, the war dead, the Capitol, the country. The other side vandalizes it. Then hires a lawyer to scream that accountability endangers every American. No, Davey Herne endangered a public monument. His lawyer insulted your intelligence. And the media accomplices who soften this into a harmless touch routine deserve to get torched for covering that Vandal class that treats American history like a prop. Jeanine Pirro should press this case hard, and Davey Herne should face maximum punishment. Enough with the sob story, enough with the activist lawyer theater. If you rip up a restored national site in the heart of Washington, you pay for it, period. And while that happens, I want us to keep our eyes on the bigger win sitting right in front of us. Trump is making the Capitol American again. He restored more than 45 monuments. He revived spaces the Biden crowd let decay. He's pushing projects so confident and so unapologetically patriotic that the critics are whining about the view and construction noise around a 259-foot Independence Arch. Good, let them whine. Great nations build. Great nations honor their heroes. Great nations protect sacred public space from vandals like Davey Herne and from media parasites who coddle them. Drop your take below, share this everywhere, and make these people hear that backlash loud and clear. And I want to make sure you hear it as well. I want you to hear the news. That's why this number exists on the screen. 844-840-4963. I'm going to text you once a night with the news that YouTube refuses to send you when they bury us under the algorithm. All you got to do is join the thousands of patriots who've already taken advantage of that by texting the words raw feed to that number. And celebrate the wins right here with the News Network by going to the merch shelf below this video.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.